What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Civilization 5 AI only Europe battle with the Health and Plagues mod. Turn 300 has just come upon us. I guess that's how you say it. And it's time to look at the info addict. So population wise, Khazaria are winning. So that's the Khazar with 18 million. Doing pretty well there. Russia just behind, 16 million. Then we've got the Garamantes in Sweden, 11 million. Third and fourth. France, the only other in double digit millions. In 10 million? Is that a thing? Double digit millions? Probably. But yeah, they are the top five. That's what we're going to be looking at. Crop yield, Russia again, as you would expect. Pretty high up the list, with Khazar as well. But Russia dominant, far out in the lead. Then there's the Songhai, just ahead of Greece and Finland in fifth. Arabia, Garamantes, some of the biggest civs up here as well. Production, Russia, 400 ahead of Khazaria, who only have 180. So Russia are producing a lot compared to anyone else. The Ottomans are there, Greece, the Songhai. It is incredible what Russia's doing. Their economy is the best as well. 564 GMP. Which I don't know what GMP stands for, but that's the gold one I usually look at. Then there's Arabia, the Khazar, Garamantes, Finland are up there as well. Land area, Russia, 3 million square kilometers. Then Greece, 2.5 million square kilometers. Arabia in second, third, just under 1.8 million. Songhai fourth, obviously they've expanded rapidly recently up to 1.6 million. Finland in fifth, 1.5 million. Some of the smaller ones, let's just have a look. 100,000 for the Goths, there we go, just a small one to look at. Military manpower, exact same for the Goths, Venice, Prussia, that's weird. I've obviously just got one unit wandering around somewhere. Assyria as well, lots of civs that are dead, half dead, but have units running around, we'll ignore that. Russia out top with 250,000 soldiers. Then just under 200,000 is Khazar. Then Arabia, 160,000, just 161,000, sorry, over the Garamantes at 160,000. Great Britain are in fifth, Finland, France up here as well. Approval, doesn't matter. Social policies, the Celts and Russia on 19, France 18, Denmark 17, Greece and Finland 16. And some other important ones. Happiness, it's only negative that matters, and no one's negative. Everyone's just about surviving. The Songhai on 0, I've got to be careful, but everyone's doing fine. Technologies, Belgium are dead. So that's why it's hard to tell. But Russia out on top, 49. Khazar, 47. Finland, France, 46. Austria, Denmark, 45. Then there's a bit of a drop-off. Well, not much of a drop-off, but there's a lot of people on the level below. Net gold, doesn't matter. Cities, Russia have 18, that is the most. And there's Greece with 13. Songhai, 11. Arabia, 10. The Ottomans, 9. Khazar, Garamantes 8, Britain 7, as of Finland as well, other civs of note. Science output, again Russia 728, Khazar in second 305, so less than half as much. The Garamantes, France, Arabia also doing well. Some of the stronger civs starting to emerge. Other than that, wonders, Russia 9, 4 for the Suma, 4 for Switzerland. And since the Suma only have one city, taking out the Suma would be very nice for whoever does that. Culture, the Celts are winning. Then Greece, then Russia, Songhai, Sweden. Influence, I didn't even notice this, but Finland influential over 8 civs. Denmark 5, Sweden 4, Russia 3, the Papal States 3, Switzerland 1. That's pretty interesting. Trade routes 5, mostly all round. Great works, a lot of Finnish great works. And in terms of, quickly let's check. We checked religion recently, but ideology, only Russia so far, the autocratic Russia. Now, they picked that a while ago, so some big wars going on at the moment. Arabia are still trying to conquer Babylon. France are still fighting Bavaria, and obviously the coalition against Denmark is still going on. And the Songhai are also trying to take out this Portuguese colony, which will finish off probably a very big era of expansion for them. And speaking of ideologies, Khazar have followed Russia and gone autocracy, so it looks like everyone will probably end up going autocracy. Potentially. And there we go, Finland starting to make some real progress down here in northern Europe, with Hamburg added to Regensburg, Königsberg. It would be really helpful if they could connect to their capital and their other cities over here all together. And there's a Swiss city here that would really help them do that if they controlled it. At the moment they're focused on Denmark, their army pushing in from the west, going easterly. Going east, heading west from the east even. There we go. So the Songhai have grabbed Porto. They've now stretched out all the way to the coast. Morocco look pretty weak now. might be a bit too late for the Songhai to come into the game as a power. But if they can now rebuild quickly enough, because a lot of units have died, if they can rebuild quickly enough, maybe the Garamantes won't be much of a threat to them as they were. Portugal and Spain have peaced out. Also, this big Spanish-Moors war is still taking place. They are still fighting it out. Just going to move my mic round. Hopefully that's better. Spain and the Moors fighting Grenada is being sieged out. Like I said, if Spain can take this while holding on to Madrid, that would be ideal for taking the other two cities in the future, because it gets rid of the problem that is, I guess, behind them. There's another British settler out here going for Norwegian territory. We've already seen the Garamantes surprise everyone going up here. Interesting to see Britain, and there we go. Babylon has fallen. 13 population, and there's a disease outbreak down here which won't help the Arabian units. But that's big for Arabia if they are going to compete to try and win this game, which will be tough, but a big city for them to take. And I think I can imagine, we'll wait till the end of the turn, but I can imagine for score on one of those, the graphs, that would have shot Arabia up quite high in the scoreboard. But Babylon just now down to the city of Azur, the former Assyrian capital, locked between two powerful civs in the Ottomans and Arabia. And it looks like Arabia may be going in for the kill. They just want to have this area for themselves. I presume once they get the dynamite technology as well, they will consider going for the Sumer, who have got this very nice looking 26 population city here. Okay, Britain and Denmark peaced out. No cities changing hands, so that's the end. Glasgow is the only city being lost from Western Denmark. Sweden should be getting something done here, but they're struggling. I don't know why they're not using these boats. But what are they doing? Let's quickly check this. Where's the graphs? Did that shoot Arabia up? Is that Arabia, that green line? I think that's Arabia here, who are just about 4th by score. Obviously, score isn't the best way of judging it, but they're up there. The Khazar, the Garamantes, and Finland maybe above them. Is that Finland? Yeah. Okay, they're the people that are above them for score. I think, I mean, I'm only judging from colours which look very much the same for most of the time. But anyway. But anyway. How are the Greeks doing? They were looking strong. Obviously, Russia is now a big, probably fear for them. They've got great war infantry. Very strong Russia. Putting units into this region just northeast of Greece. Greece still have musket men, which is not a good sign, because we're seeing a lot of the stronger nations with riflemen now. So that's not good for the Greeks, but they're big. 13 cities. It will be hard to fight through this just due to the sheer amount of cities, the location. These two, they've got a couple of islands. These two are obviously in Anatolia, not easily accessible to Russia compared to, say, Corinth here, Eritrea, mountains around it. These cities might be fine. So Greece aren't in trouble yet. They could be soon, but Austria are here as well. Austria need to make sure they get that tile, because if not, Finland's growth is gonna leave Austria split in half and leave Warsaw as an easy target for Finland or Russia to take a big city in Europe, which they will both be looking for that opportunity. Okay, so let's focus now on the action in Iberia, because none of the sieges over here are going to plan. So yes, let's focus here. I think if Madrid falls, that would be a surprise, but I think it won't. I think Spain will take Grenada and their attentions will turn to save their capital just in time. As long as they get Grenada this turn, which cannons here they should be able to do, especially if it's their go first. I can't tell if they've been already or what, but yeah, it's just a mix. It's not sometimes it does mods last, but this has done mods first by the look of things. So it looks like it's totally random, which is interesting. How are the French pushing in? Well, just while nothing's going on down there. The French have gained some territory. The Bavarians have fallen back, but they've not necessarily made any progress yet into this invasion. Obviously, I said before, Munich would be a big city to whoever could take it. There we go. Here's Spain's turn. Grenada has fallen. There we go. So the game's going to go a bit funny, but there we go. Now they've got to recover and protect Madrid. But this is big. This is big for Spain. And it's going to make France's life a bit easier, because the Moors were really annoying the French attacking that way. So this is big. The Moors going now, if they're going to fail. And that means the Spanish units are going to come in, clear up all the rest of the Moorish units. It looks like no more cities are going to fall though. It looks like there's not enough units on either side left to win. But a big pickup for Spain here in northeastern Iberia. So they are looking stronger now. 5 cities to the Moors 2. Pretty strong position. Obviously they've got their city out here as well, I guess, if you want to count that. It's going to be interesting to see what Portugal do here, because if Spain continue in the future with more success to push in for Valencia and Cordoba, are we going to see Portugal try and help out? At the moment they just seem to be focused on staying alive. Just some Gatling guns and a now out there, their unique boat. The Swiss have got a lot of units and they're just staying very quiet, as they tend to. I think a French-Swiss war will come around soon, because it's a lovely border. It would be a very intense war. Geneva would be a big city to take, while Bern would be a lot harder. But Geneva would be a really good city to take. And oh my goodness, the Songhai haven't stopped. There we go. Casablanca, the next city to join the Songhai Empire. Askia, really going at it out here in the west. Really going for it. The question is, what are these two doing? Khazar State are fighting. I think Khazar and Armenia Khazar are struggling to mount an invasion against Armenia. So Russia are but Russia are mainly, they've built a lot of Cossacks, their unique units, and a lot of Great War infantry, but they're staying relatively quiet. Looks like Finland are about to pick up. If this Lancer can stay alive, and as Finland's turn is first, I think they'll get it done. I think they might just do this here. With a bit of luck, if they've not been already, which they may have been, because it's mods first by the look of it. If they've not been already, there may just be a chance that they can take this city this turn. But if not, they might lose their Lancer, and that will be the end of their invasion for a little while. The Garamantes have gone order, which is fine for them, because they're far away from Russia. Someone like the Ottomans or Greece, that sort of choice wouldn't work. But it's fine for the Garamantes, considering their location. They didn't get the job done, but this city should fall soon. I mean, Finland have got to send some more units over. They've run out down here. There's still a battle going on here being waged. Looks like the end of the Spanish War is near. It looks like it's going to be a grind to a halt for a little while along the border. But Spain did well. Oh, maybe they're going to push for Valencia, but they need to be careful. Need to be very careful. Sweden just aren't doing very much. I don't know what they're doing. It looks like Britain are going to go over to maybe over here. Britain, I'd avoid Finland if I were you. I mean, you're not really near them, but they're looking very strong, Finland. They're in a powerful place. Be interesting to see what ideology Finland goes down, because they won't get any bonuses from going autocracy and just following the big yellow blob next to them. But at the same time, it may be better to not take those bonuses and just go down the same path. Because, I mean, it's unlikely now, very unlikely we'll see a Khazar-Russian war, at least until later in the game. Not anytime soon, since they're both the two autocratic nations of the world. Good to see the Garamantes were willing to make their own mind up. Obviously they're far away, so it doesn't matter, like I said. Ooh. We thought, okay, so Arabia pieced out with Babylon. I didn't comment on it, but a few turns ago. But could Azure fall to this huge Ottoman army? The Ottomans have really crept up in sort of strength, I guess, and this is a big time for them. If they can take Azure with all these Janissaries, it looks like this could be the end for Babylon, and it's gonna just limit Arabia's expansion for a little while. Obviously it leaves the Sumer as their sort of target, I guess, if they want to go across the Red Sea, which would be very tough for the AI to attack Egypt, although they've got a place to launch a step. And the Garamantes have failed miserably against the Mercurians, so they're going to stay alive. The Greeks are still here, so that's interesting. Russia are looking nice and strong. Everywhere you look, Russia have, you know, every city has about 2 or 3 Cossacks around it. There's 3 here at Moscow, so they are well defended, with units that can move very quickly throughout the empire, which is probably a good strategy for them, because if someone attacks in the east, they can very quickly send their units back. Obviously later on these may upgrade to tanks. I'm not sure, I've forgotten who knows? But okay, Finland have failed. They've burnt out. It looks like Denmark are going to survive. But 2 cities eaten away. They're getting smaller with each coming invasion. Copenhagen has still survived though, so they're not dead yet. And Berlin is still here. There's good cities, Berlin, Zurich. But the longer they keep away from a border with the French, I guess the better. And at the moment, Bavaria are doing that for them, doing the job. Oh yeah, I forgot this Spanish city, which could be about to fall to the Garamantes. That would be a big surprise. I just happened to look and it was happening. I think the Songhai may have finally given up on their push into Morocco. It looks like it is over now. But you never know. You never know. They could keep going. They surprised us already, taking Porto and Casablanca. That wasn't expected. And it does look like the Spanish are going to try for Valencia. They've destroyed most of the Moors' units. This would be really big if they could take Valencia and then just have 2 one-city civs left in Iberia for them to pick off. That would be a good position for them to get themselves in. Okay, so Babylon are going to go. It's a race now, which Arabia will be kicking themselves for piecing out, because this was their opportunity. But the Sumer won't be able to contribute too much, and Armenia are currently holding off Khazar, who have artillery in the mountains, which will be making their life very difficult for Arabia. The mountains beginning to become less effective as a form of defense with those artillery coming in. Don't see Russian artillery yet. We just see cannons, which is interesting. Of course, this western front of Russia is where most of their strength is. Like I said, there's Cossacks all along the empire, but along this border you've got cannons, Cossacks, and Great War infantry lined up for whatever may come in the future. Okay, this is it. The Spanish are making efforts. These cannons will be doing some damage. And how is Iceland doing? Let's do our regular videoly, daily, I don't know, just regular checkup on Iceland. They're doing okay. They're doing just fine. Let's not bother them. Liverpool, it's just barely 2 population out here. Is this the Faroe Islands or not? This might be, maybe not the Faroe Islands, maybe that's somewhere else, but it might be. I can't remember exactly. Britain are heading out here somewhere. Like I said, Britain, don't annoy Sweden too much. I mean, they're not a threat to you, but you don't want to annoy Sweden. They were helping you against the Danish. So, what is going to happen now? Is someone going to do something that surprises us? Are Switzerland, Austria, or the Papal States going to act? Or are they just going to sit here and let the game bypass them? Because at the moment, they're all falling behind technologically. I mean, the Swiss don't even have guns. I say they have a lot of units, but they're all pikemen and stuff. Not too good. I mean, again, there's Gatling guns and musket men for the Papal States, which is a little better. Austria, again, musketmen. They have their unique unit, though, so they should be okay. But again, they're not going to be able to hold Russia off for long. Okay, coalition against Morocco has begun. Greece and Egypt, not going to matter too much. Santiago's in the yellow, but it looks like this privateer has dispersed the units and kept the southern half of Sardinia Spanish for now, and a big area for passing through the Mediterranean, making it tough. It's completely locked off by borders down here between the Papal States, Greece, Spain, and the Garamantes. Technically just Spain and the Garamantes, actually, because Spain cut it off here to the Vandals as well. So even the Papal States can barely get out. There we go, the outbreak, was it of typhoid? I didn't read it all. It looked like typhoid has ended. Maybe it wasn't, and that's just weird, but pretty sure it was. Pretty sure. The Greek navy looking pretty strong. Byzantium, someone we haven't really talked about because they're split into 3, almost split into 3 separate cities, which won't help them in the long run. They will probably fall either to the Russians, maybe Greece, now that they've got this very strong, much stronger navy. But Byzantium have frigates too. Constantinople would be, it's a city Greece would want. I'm sure Russia would want it, and I'm sure the Ottomans would want it as well. So if Russia had it, it would make any war in the Black Sea much easier for them. Obviously at the moment they only have this puppet city, so no boats in there yet for them. But I'm sure if Salzburg is one of those cities they'll be looking at, citadels, trying to cut off this city here. Maybe we could see something between Russia and Khazar. It would be an epic war because the Khazar have got everything sort of grouped together. Russia very spread out. It would be an epic war where I don't know what would happen. I mean, I don't know. It would be a battle. I think Russia would eventually win out, but with the artillery advantage, would that be enough to help the Khazar to a victory? Are Babylon... Okay, so Azure is in the red. Armenia's here, but it's not a melee unit. So this turn, I think we'll see the Ottomans take Babylon out of the game and put a hole. It's going to be interesting. Two powers are rising next to each other in the Ottomans and Arabia. Arabia rebuilding currently, by the looks of things. Trying to get Babylon out of resistance and rebuild everything, which is going to be a tough job. Tough time. And Bavaria and Finland have pieced out. Nothing happened there. Bavaria are moving further and further east. Their units pushing into Denmark, into Finland. And that's allowing the French to really make some progress. But again, there's not many units here for the French. It's going to be so tough to get the job done. How are the Ottomans doing? There we go. So the Ottomans have taken Azure, as we said it. Boom. Babylon are gone. And the Ottomans are expanding more, which is going to mean Arabia and the Ottomans are going to probably have a war here along this border. And it is going to be an intense one. A really big one in the future of this game. Luckily for the Ottomans, Istanbul is really far away from here. Hard to access Istanbul. So they shouldn't lose their capital. Same again, Arabia, Mecca, nicely locked away from where any battling will be. But how British are rebuilding again. That is troubling for I guess, I don't know, the Celts are doing okay. They're keeping up just enough to deter the British, I guess, with their red coats and their first-rate ships. It's the British mod, not the England CIV, which is why it's a bit different. A little bit different. But yeah, it's starting to really slow down the processing times. We're starting to see it. Turns. We did 15 turns last video. We've only done 12. Looks like we're going to get 13 done this turn. Although I did stop to read the info addicts. And oh my goodness. Okay, so this Armenian city, didn't even notice, has fallen to the Khazar. So we could see a border between the Ottomans, Arabia and Khazar forming down here. Which is going to be a very scary place to live. Khazar are in a tough place, you know, considering they're next to the Ottomans here, Russia to the north. Now they're starting to border Arabia. They have pieced out, so they are just happy. This is the city, leaving a very nice 18 population Yerevan here in the mountains. For the Ottomans they have some time if they want to go through it before Khazar can go again. So maybe this is their time, just maybe. How are these Finnish cities? Okay, boom. Who's this? Songhai. They are coming in with some late game. Maybe they're going to surprise us in the late game. Autocracy. So they have joined Russia and Khazar. They may end up just being a puppet of Russia and Khazar, keeping the Garamantes down, I guess, maybe. Maybe that's what we're going to see. So the Songhai doing the job, doing Russia and Khazar's dirty work in Africa. But it looks like Toledo, they keep going, the Songhai. They are really pushing to remove Morocco from the game. Because, I mean, once Morocco's gone, they have free access to all of the western half of Africa. Anything west of the Garamantes, I guess. Which will be insane. And, I mean, the Garamantes, yes, they've got a navy. They can fight in the Mediterranean. That's not going to help them when the war is all the way down here. So, we'll see what's yet to happen. Okay, Valencia didn't fall. That's a big turn of events. But how everything else just seems to have slowed a bit. Everything, it just seems the world's just like a calm before the storm. Munich may be about to witness... Oh, yes, okay, so these guys are teaming up. Russia and the Khazar are teaming up. And this is bad news for the Austrians. Like I said, Warsaw is very close to being cut off. And this isn't good news for civs like Finland. They need to be very, very cautious of Russia now, seeing as they're looking hungry. They've taken a big break in wars. It's been a while, a few videos since the Goths War. They've taken a big break, but now looks like we're going to see some conflict as they look to push further into Western Europe, which will be, this will be a worry. Like I said, Finland, Denmark, Greece, you need to be the civs that are worrying now. because Russia is very powerful. And okay, so maybe the focus isn't Warsaw, actually, my bad. Looks like Salzburg, which I forgot about. Artillery here. Looks like they're going for here, 15 population in Crimea. So that will be pretty big as we approach the year 1900. We're nearly there. So that's interesting. How is that going? I don't know, but that is going to be it for this video, guys. So as always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, maybe even subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.